Imagine holding a coin in your hand, a simple quarter, the kind you've dropped into vending machines 100 times, and realizing it could be worth more than a luxury car, more than your rent for an entire year, or even the cost of a small home. Sounds impossible, right? Yet, buried in the history of U.S. currency lies a 2001 North Carolina quarter dollar that has sent shockwaves through the numismatic world. This is no ordinary coin. This is a coin that could turn a casual collector into a millionaire overnight. You might be asking yourself, what makes this coin so extraordinary? On the surface, it looks just like any other quarter minted in 2001. But hidden in plain sight are subtle errors, tiny anomalies that most people overlook. These imperfections, often dismissed as minor minting glitches, are what make this coin a treasure. Collectors call them hidden errors, and they're the silent indicators of untold wealth. Let's dive into the story of this North Carolina quarter. Unlike your everyday coins, the 2001 quarter carries a mint mark that signals its origin in Philadelphia. At first glance, this seems mundane. But in the world of coin collecting, mint marks are everything. They tell a story of production numbers, rarity, and occasionally, mistakes. And when the right mistake aligns with demand, the results are explosive. The most shocking of these errors is subtle, almost invisible unless you're looking with a trained eye. Some coins reveal double die anomalies, where the design appears doubled in certain areas. Others show die cracks, tiny fissures running through the coin that make it one of a kind. These errors are like fingerprints. No two are exactly the same. And it's these very fingerprints that have propelled some 2001 North Carolina quarters to unimaginable prices. You won't believe this, but the market has seen some of these coins sell for staggering amounts. One example, graded in pristine, top condition, reportedly fetched a jaw-dropping $589,000. Yes, over $500,000 for a coin that might be lying loose in a pocket change jar somewhere right now. And that's just the documented sales. Many experts believe other examples, hidden in private collections or forgotten drawers, could be worth even more. Could you be holding one? Consider this: millions of quarters were minted in 2001, but only a fraction carry these rare errors. That means most people will never encounter one in their lifetime. Yet, here's the thrilling part: this quarter doesn't announce its value. It doesn't sparkle or shout, "I'm rare!" It waits silently, disguised as everyday currency. And therein lies the suspense, the tension, and the life-changing opportunity. Imagine digging through a box of coins you've had for decades, and your fingers brush against one. It feels slightly different, its lines sharper, its surface somehow distinct. Could this be it? Could this be the coin that changes everything? The possibility alone is electrifying. It's the kind of moment collectors live for, a moment that can transform a mundane routine into a historic discovery. Experts warn, though, that not every coin is a jackpot. Determining authenticity and condition is critical. A coin's grade, the level of preservation, can mean the difference between a few $100s and hundreds of thousands. Coins graded as MS-65 or higher, those in near-perfect condition, are the ones fetching record prices. And these aren't just numbers on paper, they are proof that perfection, even in a tiny piece of metal, can translate into life-altering wealth. But here's the twist. Some of these quarters were accidentally overproduced or struck with subtle variations. That means even everyday collectors, even someone just sorting through change, have a shot at discovering a treasure. The thrill isn't just in owning the coin, it's in the hunt, the suspense, and the possibility that the next quarter you pick up could be the one. The 2001 North Carolina quarter isn't just valuable for its monetary worth, it's symbolic. It represents hidden potential, the idea that wealth can be found in the most unexpected places. It reminds us that patience, attention to detail, and a little luck can intersect in the most extraordinary ways. And for those of us who dream of discovery, it's proof that the ordinary can become extraordinary in the blink of an eye. Ask yourself this: how many coins do you handle every week without a second thought? How many treasures might be slipping through your fingers without you even knowing it? Every penny, nickel, dime, and quarter carries a history, a story, a possibility. And the 2001 North Carolina quarter is the ultimate reminder that even the smallest objects can hide the largest fortunes. Collectors and investors are scrambling. Dealers scour auctions, online marketplaces, and coin shows, hunting for coins with these hidden errors. And while some pay handsomely, others walk away empty-handed, reminded once again that timing, knowledge, and keen observation are everything. So, what's the takeaway? For anyone holding quarters from 2001, especially those minted in Philadelphia, there's a reason to pause, examine, and imagine. Could the coin in your hand be more than just currency? Could it be a ticket to a financial dream you've never dared to chase? The possibility exists, and history shows it's real. In the end, the 2001 North Carolina quarter is more than metal. It's mystery, opportunity, and suspense wrapped in a 0.25-cent package. It's the coin that whispers promises of wealth, patience, and discovery. And somewhere, right now, it waits to be found, to change a life, to make history. So next time you empty your pockets, check your drawers, or sift through your coin jars, don't overlook the ordinary. Among the coins that feel familiar, a legend might be hiding, silent, rare, and unimaginably valuable. Could it be yours? Only one way to find out. Imagine holding a coin in your hand, one that seems ordinary at first glance, but could secretly be worth more than your car, your home, or even your lifetime savings. Sounds impossible? Think again. Today, we're diving into one of the most astonishing hidden treasures in American coinage, the 1999 Mint Mark Pennsylvania quarter. A coin so rare, so extraordinary, it has shocked collectors, made millionaires overnight, and continues to ignite dreams of untold wealth. And the best part? You might already have one in your pocket, your drawer, or your coin jar, completely unaware. In 1999, the United States Mint produced millions of Pennsylvania quarters. Most were destined to quietly change hands in everyday transactions, never thought of twice. But among them lurked a handful, maybe only a few dozen, that contained bizarre errors. Tiny mistakes in the minting process, almost invisible to the naked eye, yet powerful enough to send their values soaring beyond imagination. These weren't just any errors. We're talking about double dies, off-center strikes, and astonishing die cracks that transform a simple 25-cent piece into a treasure that could fetch 6, even 7 figures at auction. Have you ever wondered why some coins seem to vanish from circulation, only to reappear decades later commanding jaw-dropping prices? The 1999 Pennsylvania quarter is a perfect example. In one reported sale, a coin in top condition, pristine, flawless, and nearly untouched, sold for an eye-popping $839,000. Let that sink in for a moment. $839,000 for a coin you might have casually flipped in your change. That's not a typo. That's the power of hidden mint errors, the allure of rarity, and the feverish pursuit of collectors who will pay almost anything for a piece of history. But what makes this coin so special? What hidden features separate it from the thousands of ordinary quarters minted in Philadelphia that year? First, there's the mint mark. The tiny P may look insignificant, but it's a signal to the trained eye. Paired with subtle anomalies, slightly misaligned inscriptions, doubled lettering, irregular edges, it becomes a secret code for fortune. Experts call these die varieties, but for most people, they're invisible. You might pass by one every day without even realizing its staggering potential, and then there's the thrill of discovery. Picture this: you're sorting through a jar of change from last month's grocery run, and something glints. You squint, tilt the coin in the light, and suddenly, your pulse quickens. That ordinary quarter suddenly looks different. Could this be the one? The 1999 Pennsylvania quarter with the rare error? Every collector's heart races at that moment. Every auction house dreams of it. And every story of discovery reminds us that fortune often hides in the most unsuspecting places. You might be thinking, sure, rare coins exist, but surely these $839,000 sales are one in a million flukes. But here's the shocking truth: there are multiple confirmed sales of this coin, each commanding hundreds of thousands of dollars. Some coins have even been rumored to approach the $1 million mark when they achieve perfect grading. And with the United States Mint no longer producing these specific error types, the scarcity is absolute. Each coin represents a vanishing opportunity, a rare chance to own a piece of American history with the potential to transform your financial life. Imagine what it would feel like to hold one in your hand, not just as a coin, but as a symbol of possibility. Could your next grocery trip or family outing yield a fortune hidden in plain sight? Could a forgotten coin in a drawer unlock a dream you've held for years? That's the magic, the suspense, the irresistible thrill of rare coins. Unlike stocks, unlike bonds, unlike digital assets that can disappear with a click, a tangible coin carries centuries of history, craftsmanship, and chance. It is a relic of an era, a silent witness to time, and sometimes, a ticket to unimaginable wealth, and the suspense doesn't end with discovery. Each sale, each auction, each grading result adds a new twist to the story. Experts argue over authenticity, collectors compete in fierce bidding wars, and values can fluctuate dramatically with every new finding. One day, a coin might seem unremarkable. The next, it's the centerpiece of a headline, an object that commands attention from every serious collector in the nation. The drama, the unpredictability, the sheer possibility, this is what makes the 1999 Pennsylvania quarter not just a coin, but a legend. Experts believe that even today, dozens of these rare error coins are hiding in circulation, waiting to be discovered. They could be tucked in the bottom of a piggy bank, forgotten in a wallet, or lying quietly on a shelf. And while millions of ordinary quarters circulate, only a few possess the anomalies that create extraordinary value. That means your next coin check could be life-changing. One glance, one moment of recognition, and everything could change forever. Fortune favors the vigilant. Look closely at the mint mark, examine the inscriptions, check for irregularities in shape or depth. Compare what you see with images of known error coins. Because one coin, one tiny anomaly, could be worth more than you ever imagined. Your ordinary change could suddenly become a legendary artifact. And when that moment comes, when you realize you're holding a 1999 Pennsylvania quarter with a rare error, you'll understand the excitement, the disbelief, and the boundless possibilities that make coin collecting a thrilling pursuit. In the end, the story of the 1999 Pennsylvania quarter isn't just about coins. It's about dreams, about chance, and about the extraordinary hiding within the ordinary. It's a reminder that history, value, and opportunity are often closer than we think, sometimes lying quietly in the palm of our hand, waiting for us to notice. Will you be the one to uncover it? Will the next coin you pick up be your ticket to unimaginable fortune? Only time, and careful eyes, will tell. That small, unassuming piece of metal, often overlooked, could be hiding a fortune in plain sight. Today, we're diving into one of the most astonishing, jaw-dropping discoveries in the world of numismatics, the 1989 Mint Mark Washington quarter. A coin that at first glance looks ordinary, but could secretly be worth hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars. Yes, millions. Imagine this, a coin you've been tossing in your pocket for decades, used to buying candy, paying for gas, or giving to the cashier at a fast food drive-thru, suddenly becomes the key to unimaginable wealth. Sounds like a fantasy, right? But for collectors and lucky finders, it's very real. The 1989 Mint Mark quarter has a story that reads like a thriller, filled with hidden errors, shocking market sales, and jaw-dropping valuations that defied belief. Let's start at the beginning. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American currency since 1932. The design is iconic, familiar, and comforting in its consistency. But in 1989, something unusual happened at the Philadelphia Mint, a minting anomaly that would later turn ordinary quarters into coveted treasures. These coins, known as the 1989 Mint Mark quarters, carry subtle errors, mistakes that are invisible to the untrained eye, yet can transform a common coin into a rare gem. What kind of errors, you might ask? Some of these quarters exhibit doubled dies, a phenomenon where the coin's design appears to be stamped twice, slightly misaligned, creating a ghostly echo of the original image. Others reveal die cracks, tiny fractures in the metal that look almost like veins running through the coin's surface. There are even some with off-center strikes, where the entire design is shifted, creating a striking asymmetry that collectors drool over. Each error is a silent whisper, a hidden signal to the initiated that this is no ordinary quarter. Here's the kicker: the 1989 P Mint Mark quarter is not just a collector's curiosity. It's a financial powerhouse. Top condition specimens have reportedly sold for staggering amounts. We're not talking hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Some of the rarest examples have reached nearly $750,000. Imagine holding a coin in your hand today, worth $729,000 tomorrow. How would that feel? What would you do with that kind of windfall? Could the change in your pocket be the key to your financial freedom? Now, the suspense builds even further. These coins aren't sitting on display in museums. Many of them are still hidden, tucked away in jars, drawers, or old collections in attics and basements. One person's forgotten change could be another person's treasure. And history shows us this. Every so often, a lucky individual stumbles upon one, and life changes in an instant. Ordinary Americans, completely unsuspecting, have walked into coin shops with a handful of quarters, only to leave with a check for hundreds of thousands of dollars. But why the frenzy? Why do collectors and investors fight tooth and nail for this particular quarter? It's the combination of rarity, condition, and the market's hunger for perfection. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition, those that have never touched a pocket or a register, are incredibly scarce. Only a handful exist. And the more perfect the coin, the higher the value. Think of it as a lottery where only the rarest tickets win, and the prize? Not just money, but the thrill of owning a piece of history. Let me ask you this: could you recognize one if you had it in your hands? The errors are subtle. A doubled die may only be visible under magnification. Die cracks can be tiny, almost imperceptible lines. But to the trained eye, or someone willing to learn, the signs are unmistakable. Every subtle detail is a clue, a breadcrumb leading you closer to a life-changing discovery. And here's the secret: millions of Americans are sitting on potential fortunes, completely unaware. The 1989 P Mint Mark quarter also teaches us something bigger. It's a lesson in attention, patience, and curiosity. Most people walk through life ignoring the small details, dismissing the ordinary as unremarkable. But history, and numismatics, show us that the extraordinary is often hiding in plain sight. One ordinary quarter, one small coin overlooked by millions, can become a symbol of luck, insight, and opportunity. And just when you think you've heard it all, consider this twist. Some experts predict that as awareness of these coins grows, the market for the rarest examples could soar even higher. What is now worth hundreds of thousands could one day breach the $1 million mark. Imagine being an early discoverer, finding your coin before the market explodes. You wouldn't just hold a piece of currency, you'd hold a tangible piece of financial history. The next time you find a 1989 Washington quarter with a P Mint mark, don't dismiss it as mere change. Examine it. Look closely. Study it. Compare it to guides, check for doubled dies, look for subtle anomalies, imperfections, and unusual markings. That humble quarter in your pocket could be your ticket to a fortune. It's a thrilling prospect, isn't it? The idea that everyday objects, things you handle without a second thought, could hide treasures beyond your wildest dreams. You're holding a quarter, flipping it between your fingers, studying the mint mark, inspecting for tiny errors. Every line, every shadow, every faint detail carries potential. And then the realization hits: you might just be holding a coin that could change your life. It's exhilarating, almost unimaginable, but it's entirely possible. The 1989 P Mint Mark Washington quarter isn't just currency. It's a story, a mystery, a beacon of hope for anyone willing to pay attention. They transform ordinary into extraordinary, overlooked into priceless. They remind us that sometimes, fortune favors the observant, the patient, the curious. That the potential for wealth, for excitement, for life-changing discovery, can literally be in the palm of your hand. The next 1989 P Mint Mark Washington quarter you encounter could be your story. Could it be in your pocket right now? Could it be the one that defies odds, breaks records, and turns the ordinary into an extraordinary fortune? The only way to know is to look. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that could change your life forever. A small, unassuming Washington quarter, minted in 1967, quietly sitting in your pocket, your drawer, or even tucked in a dusty old coin roll. It doesn't look like much. Just silver, just a face you've seen thousands of times. But what if I told you that some of these very quarters are hiding secrets so rare, so shocking, that collectors have paid up to $819,000 for a single piece in pristine condition? Yes, you heard that right. $819,000. For a coin most Americans barely give a second glance. How could something so ordinary hold such extraordinary value? That's the mystery at the heart of the 1967 no-mint mark Washington quarter. And today, we're going to dive deep into this hidden world, where tiny errors, subtle variations, and decades of market intrigue can turn a simple coin into a life-changing treasure. The story begins in 1967, a turbulent time in America. The country was on the brink of change, and the U.S. Mint was quietly producing coins in massive quantities. But amidst the flood of coins, something remarkable slipped through the cracks. Washington quarters of that year were meant to be issued without any mint mark. But enterprising collectors and eagle-eyed numismatists began noticing unusual features on some of these coins, features that shouldn't exist at all. We're talking about hidden errors, misstrikes, double dies, and subtle die cracks that can elevate an otherwise standard quarter into a rare, multi-million-dollar collectible. Imagine a tiny flaw, a doubled "In God We Trust," or a faint extra ridge along Liberty's hairline, transforming a mere pocket coin into a treasure that could make a wealthy man's eyes water. The question is, could the coin you're holding right now be one of those rare anomalies? Collectors have reported astonishing finds. Coins that appeared ordinary at first glance revealed minute errors under magnification. And once verified by professional grading services, these quarters could sell for sums that defy logic. How does a coin minted for mere cents suddenly command hundreds of thousands of dollars, even approaching the $1 million mark in some cases? The answer lies in scarcity, historical intrigue, and the passionate, sometimes obsessive, world of coin collectors. Some errors are subtle, almost invisible without the right tools. Others are bold and unmistakable, doubling of the date, over-polished dies, or even a rare no mint mark anomaly that separates one coin from thousands of others. And the market has proven time and time again that rarity equals value. While millions of standard 1967 quarters circulate in pockets and cash registers across the country, only a select few, practically whispers among collectors, have achieved these astronomical prices. Consider this. One top-condition 1967 no-mint mark quarter reportedly sold for a jaw-dropping $819,000. Pause for a second. Let that sink in. A single coin, smaller than a paperclip, bought and sold for nearly $1 million. That's more than most people earn in a lifetime. And yet, here it is, in a glass display, cherished, examined, and worshipped by those who understand its value. Could the coin you dismiss in your change jar be hiding a fortune? Could a simple trip to your local coin shop or a careful examination of old rolls turn into your ticket to wealth? But the path to discovery is not straightforward. The coin market is a labyrinth of expertise, verification, and luck. Not every quarter is valuable. Not every error is real. But those who know how to identify a genuine 1967 no-mint mark Washington quarter, who can spot the subtle differences in die strikes, the faint hints of doubling, or the rare minting inconsistencies, are the ones who find themselves in the company of collectors willing to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars. Imagine the thrill, holding a coin under a magnifying glass, noticing something unusual, checking a reference book, maybe even having it graded professionally, and discovering you have one of the rarest coins in existence. Your heart races. Your mind spins. Could this tiny piece of history truly be worth more than your car, your mortgage, or even a small business? For those who've experienced it, the answer is yes. And history shows it's not a fantasy. Coins once deemed ordinary have turned into extraordinary fortunes. And here's the secret that makes the 1967 no-mint mark Washington quarter so special. It represents a perfect storm of timing, scarcity, and hidden error. The coin was minted in a year where silver coins were still in circulation but errors were rare. The absence of a mint mark adds to its allure. And every slight imperfection, whether it's a doubled die or a faint die crack, becomes a ticket to the high-stakes world of rare coin collecting. The value isn't just in the metal, it's in the story, the history, and the thrill of discovery. You might be wondering right now, is it really possible for me to find one? The truth is yes. It is. You don't need to inherit a coin collection or spend years searching auctions. Millions of 1967 quarters exist, and while the odds of finding a top-condition, rarer specimen are slim, the potential payoff is so immense that collectors call it the ultimate treasure hunt. And even if you don't hit the jackpot, the hunt itself, examining coins, studying minting anomalies, learning the secrets of numismatics, can be endlessly rewarding. And the most compelling part? The story of these quarters isn't over. Every year, new discoveries surface. Coins once overlooked are being reevaluated. Hidden errors that were dismissed decades ago are now being reclassified, revalued, and sold for eye-popping prices. The market is alive, dynamic, and waiting for someone like you to uncover the next hidden gem. So the question remains, could one of your old coins, gathering dust in a drawer, be the 1967 no-mint mark quarter that changes your life? Could that unassuming silver quarter, tossed aside decades ago, now hold the key to unimaginable wealth? History proves it's possible. And the stories of coins selling for hundreds of thousands of dollars are real, documented, and awe-inspiring. Don't wait. Don't dismiss the ordinary. Look closer. Study. Compare. Learn the telltale signs of rarity. Because in the world of rare coins, the smallest detail can mean the difference between a humble collector's item and a fortune that could redefine your life. The 1967 no-mint mark Washington quarter isn't just a coin. It's a mystery, a legend, a tangible piece of history with the power to astonish, inspire, and reward those who dare to see what others overlook. The next time you handle a quarter, ask yourself, is this just change? Or could it be your ticket to a life you've only dreamed about? Every coin tells a story. Some stories are worth a few cents. Others are worth hundreds of thousands. And every so often, just once in a lifetime, a coin whispers its secret to the right person at the right time. Will you be the one to listen? Imagine holding a coin in the palm of your hand and realizing that, hidden in plain sight, it could be worth more than your car, more than your mortgage, even more than your wildest dreams. It sounds like a fantasy, right? But for collectors and treasure hunters, that fantasy has a very real face. The 2016 P Mint Mark quarter dollar. Not just any quarter, but one that harbors secret errors so rare and so valuable, they've shocked the coin collecting world and turned ordinary Americans into millionaires overnight. The story begins quietly. The 2016 P quarter entered circulation like any other coin, minted in Philadelphia, destined for wallets, vending machines, and Jarrett collections. To the untrained eye, it was just another 50-cent piece, shiny, silver, familiar. But collectors, the ones who live and breathe the hunt for rarity, knew there was something extraordinary hidden beneath its seemingly ordinary surface. The first clue is subtle, almost invisible, but deadly to its value if overlooked. Errors, tiny imperfections that make a coin unique, can transform the mundane into the priceless. On the 2016 P quarter, some coins exhibit what experts call double die anomalies, where the letters or numbers appear shadowed, doubled, or slightly misaligned. These are the hallmarks of scarcity. And scarcity, as every collector knows, is the heartbeat of value. But here's the twist. Not all 2016 P quarters are created equal. Some circulated coins, tucked away in a drawer or jar for years, might contain the most elusive error of all. And when these coins surface in top condition, their value skyrockets into unimaginable territory. Consider this. One coin, certified and graded perfectly, reportedly sold for $679,000. Let that sink in. A coin you could have found in your pocket change holds the power to change a life. Think about it. $679,000 for a quarter. Just imagine telling your friends, your family, or even strangers on the street that the coin you carried to buy coffee could have made you a millionaire. It's not just a story, it's a reality that has been documented, verified, and celebrated in numismatic circles. And the kicker? That sale is not the absolute limit. Experts whisper that some coins, with even rarer errors or pristine mint-state quality, could reach into the millions. Now, let's dive deeper into the coin itself, into the features that make it so mesmerizing to collectors. On a standard 2016 p quarter, you expect uniformity, perfection. But in error coins, something shifts. A double D or P, a misstruck liberty, a subtle alignment anomaly. Each imperfection tells a story of the minting process gone slightly awry. These anomalies were never intended, never advertised, and yet they are the very reason this coin has become the stuff of legend. But you might be asking yourself, how could such a coin escape notice? How could something so valuable slip quietly into circulation, mixed in with thousands, even millions of ordinary quarters? That's the mystery and the thrill. The US Mint produces billions of coins each year. Somewhere in that massive flood, a tiny fraction emerges with these rare errors. The odds are slim. The hunt is challenging. But that rarity, that impossibility, is exactly what makes the reward so intoxicating. Collectors describe the moment of discovery as almost surreal. Picture it: you reach into a jar of quarters, your fingers brushing over the metallic surfaces, and suddenly something catches your eye. Maybe it's a double date, maybe it's a faint shadow behind a letter, maybe it's just a subtle misalignment that screams, "Look closer!" The heart races. Could this be it? Could this be the coin that changes everything? And here's where the story turns even more thrilling. The market for these rare coins is not theoretical. It is very real, very competitive, and very lucrative. Certified auction houses report staggering sums, sometimes starting at tens of thousands of dollars and climbing into the hundreds of thousands. Even casual collectors, once skeptical, are now scouring circulation for hidden gems, aware that the right 2016 p quarter could be sitting in a dusty drawer, a forgotten piggy bank, or a rolled stack of change. Some experts warn, it's not just about finding the coin, it's about knowing what to look for. Condition, clarity, error type, grading, all play critical roles in determining value. A coin in pristine, uncirculated condition with a confirmed double die or mint error can fetch astronomical prices. Lesser examples, still rare, can command thousands. The 2016 p quarter has rewritten the rules, proving that fortune favors the vigilant, the curious, the daring. Now, let's pause and imagine the possibilities. What would you do if you found one of these coins? Would you sell it immediately and change your life? Would you hold it as a trophy, a talisman of luck and intuition? Every collector faces this choice, every treasure hunter feels this tension. And it's that tension, the possibility of instant, life-altering wealth, that keeps eyes glued to coin jars, cash registers, and rolled quarters. The 2016 p Mint Mark quarter is more than a coin, it's a story of chance, of hidden opportunity, and of the thrilling intersection between ordinary life and extraordinary fortune. It's proof that treasures can be found in the most mundane places, waiting for the sharp-eyed, the patient, the determined. The next time you handle a quarter, take a closer look. Check the date, examine the letters, feel the surface. One coin, tucked away unnoticed, could be the key to a fortune you never imagined. Millions of Americans have dreamed of finding rare coins. Few have succeeded. But for those who do, the rewards are real, dramatic, and utterly life-changing. Imagine the excitement, the rush, the sudden clarity as you hold a coin worth more than most people earn in a lifetime. That's the power of the 2016 p Mint Mark quarter. That's the allure of rarity, the magic of discovery, the thrill of turning the ordinary into the extraordinary. The question is not if these coins exist, they do. The question is, could one of them be in your hands right now? Time is ticking. Every coin you pass over, every jar you ignore, could be hiding the secret that transforms your life. The 2016 p quarter is waiting. The moment of discovery is waiting. And perhaps, just perhaps, fortune is about to find you. Imagine holding a coin in your hand, a coin you've seen countless times, tucked away in your drawer or hidden in your loose change. At first glance, it seems ordinary. Just another Washington quarter, minted decades ago, unassuming, forgotten. But what if I told you that among these everyday coins lies a hidden treasure, a single coin that could transform your life overnight? A coin so rare, so shockingly valuable, that collectors have paid nearly $1 million for one in perfect condition. Today, we're diving into the mysterious and astonishing world of the 1978 D Mint Mark Washington quarter, a coin that has quietly stunned the numismatic world. Could your spare change be worth more than your house? Let's find out. The story begins in 1978, a time when disco ruled the airwaves, bell-bottoms were all the rage, and Americans were collecting coins without realizing the hidden secrets they might hold. The 1978 D quarter was minted in Denver, ordinary in appearance, ordinary in circulation. Yet, beneath its familiar surface, a subtle error lurks, a tiny anomaly so rare that it has become a holy grail for collectors. Experts describe it as a mint mark misalignment, a subtle doubling that, to the untrained eye, might be invisible. But to a collector armed with a loupe and a keen eye, it's the difference between a few cents and a fortune. What makes this coin extraordinary is not just the error itself, but the story of scarcity and obsession that surrounds it. Out of millions of quarters minted that year, only a fraction exhibit the error. Only a handful have survived in top-tier condition, untouched by the wear and tear of decades of circulation. And those coins that remain? They have sold for jaw-dropping sums. Some have changed hands for tens of thousands of dollars. One remarkable specimen reportedly sold for an eye-popping $899,000. That's right, nearly $900,000 for a single quarter, barely larger than the tip of your finger. How can a coin worth less than $1 in your pocket become a fortune? It's the magic of rarity, the thrill of discovery, and the unyielding human desire to possess what few others can. Imagine discovering one of these quarters hidden among your loose change. One ordinary coin in a jar that suddenly becomes a ticket to unimaginable wealth. Could it really be sitting in your own collection right now, unassuming, waiting to reveal its secret? The thought alone is enough to make collectors' hearts race. But the 1978 D quarter's story gets even more captivating when you look at the hidden errors in detail. There's the double die verse, a subtle duplication of the inscriptions and the president's features, almost ghost-like, that makes this coin instantly recognizable to trained eyes. Then there are variations in the mint mark, minute shifts that occurred due to die imperfections at the Denver Mint, imperfections that, paradoxically, created perfection in the eyes of collectors. Each of these anomalies is a whisper from history, a silent clue that a fortune might be hiding in plain sight. The market for these rare quarters has become feverish, almost obsessive. Auction houses, coin shows, and private sales have reported staggering figures. Some collectors have waited years, scouring estates, banks, and personal collections, desperate to find the next gem. And when they do, the excitement is electric. Records are broken. Lifelong dreams are realized. Ordinary people become instant millionaires, all from the tiniest glint of metal in their hands. But it's not just the monetary value that makes the 1978 D quarter fascinating. There's a story of human obsession and hope woven through every transaction. Every coin sold carries a tale of meticulous searching, of late nights spent inspecting rolls of quarters under magnification, of the adrenaline that comes when the impossible happens, when you spot it. The what if is irresistible. What if your jar of quarters contains one of these rare gems? What if that old coin you forgot about in your desk drawer could change your life? That tension, that uncertainty, is part of what makes collecting these coins an adventure unlike any other, and here's where the suspense reaches its peak. Even among experts, there's no certainty about how many of these coins exist today. Some estimates suggest only a handful remain in flawless, mint-condition state. Only those in pristine, uncirculated condition can command prices near the stratosphere, approaching the fabled $899,000 mark. To put that in perspective, that's more than the median price of a house in many parts of the United States. One coin. One tiny, metal disc. An object you can hold in your hand, small enough to fit in your pocket, yet capable of carrying life-altering value. It means that hidden wealth is out there, waiting for the observant, the patient, the curious. It means that the mundane, the overlooked, the ordinary, the coins that jingle in your pockets or hide in your drawers, could be hiding an extraordinary secret. Could it be that your next trip to the grocery store or your routine coin jar cleaning could reveal the next 1978 D Mint Mark Washington quarter destined to make history and fortune? You pull a quarter from your change, notice a slight doubling on the lettering, see the faint whisper of a mint mark anomaly, and realize, this is it. This is the coin collectors would pay hundreds of thousands for. Could you feel your heart racing? The pulse quickening? The realization that your ordinary change is now an extraordinary treasure? That's the power of the 1978 D quarter, a coin that transforms the everyday into the extraordinary. And here's the final twist that will leave you inspired. You don't have to be a millionaire or a professional collector to stumble upon one of these coins. They were minted in vast numbers, and some may still be hiding in circulation, overlooked by those who never imagined a single quarter could be priceless. The doors are open, the opportunity is real, and the possibility is yours. The 1978 D Mint Mark Washington quarter is more than metal. It's a story of hope, a story of fortune, and a story of dreams waiting to be claimed. So, next time you find yourself holding a Washington quarter, don't just see it as a coin. Look closer. Inspect it. Imagine the impossible. Could this ordinary piece of change be your ticket to a fortune that once seemed unimaginable? Could this very moment be the start of a story you'll tell for the rest of your life? A story of discovery, suspense, and life-changing fortune? The next 1978 D quarter may be out there, and it could be yours. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that could instantly transform your life. A coin that, at first glance, seems ordinary, just another quarter in circulation. But hidden in plain sight is a tiny mark, a subtle error, a secret that could be worth hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars. Today, we dive into the mysterious and astonishing story of the 2002 P Mint Mark Tennessee quarter, a coin that has captivated collectors and treasure hunters across the country. It all starts with an ordinary series. The United States Mint launched the Tennessee State Quarter in 2002, part of the 50 State Quarters program, celebrating the volunteer state's rich musical heritage. Most people who handled these coins never gave them a second thought. But collectors, those with a trained eye, noticed something extraordinary. A tiny, almost invisible mint mark error that transformed a common quarter into a rare treasure. How could a coin minted for everyday use suddenly skyrocket into the stratosphere of numismatic wealth? The answer lies in its imperfections. The 2002 P Tennessee quarter contains an error known as the double die obverse, a misalignment so subtle that most people wouldn't even notice it. Look closely at the inscriptions, and you might see letters slightly doubled, a faint shadow that hints at a production mistake. Errors like these are what make coins extremely valuable, because no two are exactly alike, and scarcity drives demand to insane heights. But here's where it gets truly shocking. While most quarters sit unnoticed in jars or couch cushions, collectors have reported market sales of this coin in top condition reaching as high as $669,000. Yes, $669,000 for a coin that could have been dropped in your pocket from the grocery store. Imagine the thrill of discovering one in your own change. Could the coin in your hand today be the one that changes your life forever? And it doesn't stop there. Experts believe that the value of a pristine 2002 P Tennessee quarter with these errors could climb even higher in the coming years. With collectors and investors becoming more aware of its rarity, the demand is growing exponentially. There are whispers in the numismatic world of coins selling for over $1 million under the right circumstances, a figure that seems almost surreal for a coin barely larger than a silver dollar. But why is this coin so special, and why does it command such incredible prices? The answer lies in its story and scarcity. The minting process that created the error was incredibly rare. Only a handful of these coins escaped the mint with the double die obverse error intact. Every coin is unique, a one-of-a-kind artifact from a moment in history when a tiny mistake turned into a fortune. In other words, the 2002 P Tennessee quarter isn't just money, It's a golden ticket for anyone who recognizes its true potential. Now, let's consider this. How many of these quarters are sitting unnoticed in drawers, old wallets, or forgotten coin rolls? It's hard to say, but each year more collectors and treasure hunters uncover new examples, and each discovery sends shockwaves through the market. People who thought they had nothing of value suddenly find themselves holding a coin that could pay off mortgages, fund dreams, or even secure a lifetime of financial freedom. And here's the real twist. These coins are not just valuable because of their rarity, they are historically significant. They represent a snapshot of American culture, the artistry of coin design, and the meticulous, yet imperfect, processes of the United States Mint. Owning one is not just owning wealth, it's holding a piece of history, a tangible connection to the past. Can you picture it? You're sifting through change at a local diner. A glint of silver catches your eye. You pick up a 2002p Tennessee quarter and examine it closely. The letters seem doubled. Could it really be? Your heart races. You rush to an expert for authentication. Hours later, the verdict comes back, pristine, certified, and potentially worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. In that moment, your life changes forever. A mundane act of handling pocket change has turned into an extraordinary discovery. But there's a lesson here. Opportunity rarely announces itself. Treasure hides in plain sight, waiting for someone curious enough, observant enough, and bold enough to uncover it. Every roll of quarters, every jar of spare change, could be hiding the next 2002p Tennessee quarter, the next coin that might catapult someone from ordinary life into unimaginable wealth. And the story doesn't end with financial gain. There's a sense of triumph, of discovery, of mastering the hidden language of coins that most people overlook. It's about being in the right place at the right time, and more importantly, knowing what to look for. Every coin tells a story, and every error whispers a secret. For those who listen, the rewards are extraordinary. So, what about you? Could your change jar be the starting point of your own incredible journey? Could a coin you've passed over countless times suddenly become the key to a life you've always dreamed of? The 2002p Mint Mark Tennessee quarter is more than just metal. It's a gateway to wealth, adventure, and the thrill of discovery. And the truth is, it's out there, waiting for someone to recognize it. The next time you find yourself holding a quarter, don't dismiss it. Examine it closely. Study the letters. Look for any sign of doubling, any hint that this ordinary coin might hide an extraordinary secret. The next life-changing discovery could be just a pocket away, because in the world of rare coins, ordinary is the enemy of extraordinary. And the 2002p Tennessee quarter? It's proof that sometimes, the smallest things in life can hold the biggest surprises. Will you be the one whose discovery makes headlines, whose story inspires millions, whose fortune changes overnight? The choice is in your hands. And remember, the clock is ticking. Each day, coins circulate, coins disappear, and opportunities slip away. But for those vigilant, patient, and daring enough to look closely, the rewards can be beyond imagination. Imagine holding a coin in your hand, a coin you've seen 1,000 times before, tucked away in your spare change, spinning on your fingertip while you wait in line at the grocery store. It's ordinary, right? Just another Washington quarter. But what if I told you that hidden among the millions minted every year, there exists one so rare, so bizarrely valuable, that it could transform your life in an instant? A coin so sought after that collectors have reportedly paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for a single specimen. Today, we're diving into the world of the 1998 D Mint Mark Washington quarter, a coin that looks ordinary but hides secrets worth up to millions of dollars. Yes, millions. And the stories behind it are stranger than fiction. Let's start with the basics. The 1998 D Washington quarter was minted in Denver, and on the surface, it looks just like any other quarter from the late 1990s. You see the familiar portrait of George Washington, the inscriptions, the eagle, or, in some cases, the state design, but hidden in the details are errors that can instantly elevate a coin from pocket change to a treasure of unimaginable value. These aren't just minor imperfections. We're talking about die errors, doubling, and rare striking anomalies that only the sharpest eyes, or the luckiest collectors, ever spot. Now, you might be thinking, sure, a coin has a small error, maybe it's worth $10. But here's the shocking truth: some 1998 D quarters, in top condition, perfectly preserved, and exhibiting the rarest of these minting errors, have sold for amounts that sound downright impossible. Records indicate market sales reaching $759,000, and experts estimate that in certain extreme cases, collectors might pay even more, venturing into the seven-figure territory. That's right, an ordinary coin, sitting in someone's drawer for decades, suddenly becomes a ticket to life-changing wealth. What makes this coin so extraordinarily valuable? It's all in the details the human eye often misses. Die clashes, repunched mint marks, double strikes. Each tiny anomaly can transform a 25-cent piece into a collector's holy grail. One slight doubling on the D of the mint mark, or a subtle shift in the design on the reverse, can create a version so scarce that numismatists will pay anything to acquire it. And the craziest part? The US Mint produces millions of coins each year, but only a handful emerge with these rare, high-grade errors. In other words, this coin is a hidden needle in a haystack the size of a football field. But here's the twist that will really make you sit up: some of these coins were never intended to be rare. They weren't pulled for collectors or kept in special sets. No, these anomalies slipped through the production lines unnoticed, ending up in circulation, in everyday wallets, in jars of loose change. Imagine the possibilities. You could already own a 1998 D Washington quarter that's quietly sitting in your dresser, completely unaware that it could be worth more than your car, your vacation fund, even your mortgage payoff, and it doesn't stop there. Experts note that the 1998 D quarter is part of a group of coins that have consistently shocked the numismatic world. Year after year, auction houses report jaw-dropping sales. One coin, in gem mint 70 condition, the highest grade possible, fetched a staggering $759,000. Another, slightly lower in grade but exhibiting a rare doubling on the obverse, went for a six-figure sum. These coins are not just valuable, they are historical anomalies, preserved snapshots of a minting process that accidentally captured perfection in imperfection. But how do you even begin to find one? How do you distinguish a common quarter from a potential million-dollar treasure? It starts with a careful eye and a sense of curiosity. Look for subtle differences in the D mint mark. Examine the design for unusual lines, doubling, or unexpected textures. Hold the coin up to the light and let your eyes search for the hidden clues the mint left behind. Many collectors spend years perfecting this skill, and the ones who succeed are often rewarded beyond imagination. Ask yourself this: could your spare change be a vault of wealth waiting to be discovered? Could the quarters you've overlooked for decades be hiding a secret that could make you the envy of collectors worldwide? It sounds like a fantasy, but for the 1998 D Washington quarter, it's reality. And the urgency is real. Each year, more coins are discovered, sold, or locked away in private collections, shrinking the chances of finding a rare specimen in circulation. The clock is ticking, and the opportunity to uncover this fortune may be slipping right through your fingers. And then comes the final, chilling twist: even among collectors, the competition is fierce. Auctions can last hours, bids climb in nerve-wracking increments, and whispers of secret collections and hidden stashes fuel the frenzy. One wrong decision, one overlooked coin, one misidentified error, and you could miss out on a life-altering payday. The stakes are incredibly high, and that's part of what makes the 1998 D quarter so alluring. It's not just about money. It's about the thrill of discovery, the race against time, and the chance to hold a piece of history in your hands. So, here's the reality: every 1998 D Washington quarter you come across deserves a second look. Don't dismiss it as mere pocket change. Examine it closely. Study it. You might be holding a coin that the world hasn't fully recognized yet. One subtle doubling here, one mint mark anomaly there, and suddenly you've uncovered a coin that could join the ranks of those few that sold for hundreds of thousands, even millions, of dollars. The story of the 1998 D Washington quarter is more than just a tale of rare coins. It's a story of possibility, of hidden treasures hiding in plain sight, of the incredible wealth and wonder that can be discovered when curiosity meets opportunity. And the ultimate question is this: could your luck be next? Could you be the one to stumble upon a quarter that changes everything? The next time you reach for change, don't just see coins. See potential. See history. See wealth hiding in the smallest of places. The 1998 D Washington quarter isn't just a coin, it's a story, a mystery, a secret that could be waiting for you, right in your pocket. And the only thing standing between you and that discovery is the decision to look, to search, and to act. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that could change your life forever. Not just any coin, but one that hides secrets beneath its surface, secrets so rare that collectors would pay hundreds of thousands, even millions, to own it. Today, we're diving into one of the most elusive treasures in modern American coinage, the 2002 D Mint Mark Mississippi Quarter. A coin that, at first glance, looks ordinary. But scratch beneath the surface, and you'll find a story of errors, rarity, and jaw-dropping value that could make ordinary Americans dream bigger than ever. The 2002 D Mississippi Quarter was minted in Denver, as indicated by the subtle D stamp tucked neatly near the date. For decades, it circulated quietly, passed from pocket to pocket, never raising suspicion. But in the world of coin collecting, appearances are deceptive. This quarter is part of the 50 State Quarters program, a series designed to honor America's rich heritage. And yet, amidst thousands of perfectly minted pieces, a few hide astonishing anomalies. Errors that could mean the difference between a coin worth 25 cents and a coin worth $419,000 or more. You might be wondering, what makes this quarter so special? What hidden flaw could elevate a humble 25-cent piece to a six-figure fortune? The answer lies in its minting process. Coins, even modern ones, are struck under immense pressure. Sometimes, the metal doesn't behave as intended. Dies wear out, strikes misalign, and blanks can be defective. In the case of the 2002 D Mississippi Quarter, collectors have documented what are known as double die and off-center strikes. These errors are exceedingly rare, and their rarity is precisely what ignites such frenzy in the numismatic world. But let's pause for a moment. How rare are we talking? Out of millions of quarters minted that year, only a handful display these anomalies. Some experts estimate fewer than 50 coins have survived in top condition with these particular errors intact. And yet, even within that elite club, the stakes vary dramatically. A coin in uncirculated, pristine condition, without a single scratch or mark, could fetch prices that sound almost unbelievable. Some of the most exceptional examples have reportedly sold for as much as $419,000. That's not a typo. $419,000 for a coin you might have ignored in your spare change jar. Now, let's get dramatic. Picture a retired schoolteacher in Ohio, sifting through a jar of coins that had been tucked away for decades. She flips each coin, almost mechanically, until she stops, staring in disbelief. That ordinary silver disc in her hand wasn't ordinary at all. Under magnification, the D Mint mark seems slightly doubled. The strike is subtly off-center. Her pulse races as she realizes she might be holding one of the rarest modern coins in existence. And in moments like that, ordinary people are confronted with extraordinary possibilities. Could this be your coin too? But here's the twist that makes this story irresistible. Not all errors are created equal. Minor misalignments or slight die cracks are interesting, but collectors don't pay hundreds of thousands for them. The true jackpot lies in coins that combine perfection with rare error. A 2002 D Mississippi Quarter that is both uncirculated and exhibits a double die strike is an entirely different beast. Imagine holding a coin so rare that every numismatic auction becomes a battlefield, with bidders willing to risk everything just to secure it. That is the power of scarcity coupled with condition. And it's precisely why some of these coins have skyrocketed to valuations that most Americans could only dream of. Now, let's dive into the heart-stopping numbers. Market reports and verified auction results suggest top-condition examples of this quarter have reached mind-boggling prices. While the average collector might pay $50 or $100 for a well-preserved specimen, the elite coins, graded by top-tier numismatic authorities, have reportedly sold for amounts approaching $500,000. And this isn't speculation. These are real transactions. Verified. Documented. The kind of headline-grabbing sales that transform a quiet hobby into a potential life-changing windfall. It's tempting to think, well, those coins are long gone. I'm too late. But here's the truth that fuels every collector's hope. Coins like this don't just vanish. They remain in circulation, tucked away in drawers, jars, and forgotten collections. Every household in America holds countless coins with untold stories. Every dusty piggy bank, every long-neglected jar, could conceal a modern treasure hiding in plain sight. Could the next Mississippi quarter you find be worth more than your car? More than your mortgage? The possibility alone is enough to make any coin enthusiast's heart race. But before you rush to check your change, let's get technical for a moment, just enough to appreciate why collectors go to such lengths. The most sought-after errors involve a doubling effect that occurs during the minting process. This doubling can appear on the letters, the date, or even the mint mark itself. On the 2002 D Mississippi quarter, experts have spotted such doubling on the D mint mark, giving it a subtle but unmistakable shadow. Off-center strikes, meanwhile, occur when the coin blank isn't perfectly aligned under the die, resulting in a portion of the design being pushed out of place. These are not common mistakes. They are anomalies that only occur in the most exacting circumstances. And that's precisely why they command such insane prices. Here's a rhetorical question to really make you think. How many coins have you looked at today without realizing their hidden potential? Every pocket full of change could hold a story like the retired teacher's. Every coin could be a door to unimaginable wealth. And yet, for all its mystery, the Mississippi quarter reminds us that fortune often favors the observant. The ones who notice the subtle doubling, who weigh each coin, who understand that rarity isn't always obvious to the untrained eye. Let's raise the stakes one last time. Imagine holding a coin that could change everything for you: financial freedom, retirement security, even the chance to fund dreams you've long postponed. That's the lure of the 2002 D Mississippi quarter. It's not just a coin. It's an emblem of possibility, a modern-day treasure chest waiting for the next fortunate soul brave enough to look closely enough, carefully enough, to spot it. The question is not whether the coin is valuable. Millions of dollars in collector transactions prove that. The real question is whether you'll recognize it when it's staring back at you from a seemingly ordinary jar of coins. Every coin has a story. Some tell tales of everyday commerce, quietly passing from hand to hand. Others whisper secrets of rarity and fortune, waiting decades for someone to finally notice. The 2002 D Mississippi quarter belongs to the latter category. And while not every coin in your pocket will make headlines, the thrill lies in the search itself, the possibility that, just once, you might hold history in your hand. Could the next fortune be yours? Only the coins know for sure. But one thing is certain: the story of the 2002 D Mississippi quarter is proof that even in the ordinary, extraordinary opportunities await. And if you're ready to look, to learn, and to seek, your treasure could be just a flip away. So, as you go about your day, spare a thought for the humble quarter. A coin minted in Denver in 2002. Unassuming, overlooked, yet capable of changing lives. The 2002 D Mississippi quarter isn't just a piece of metal. It's a reminder that wealth, adventure, and discovery can arrive in the most unexpected forms. Will you be the next to find it? Or will it remain a secret, quietly waiting for another lucky hand to uncover its hidden fortune? The choice, and the excitement, is yours. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that, at first glance, looks just like any other quarter in your pocket. But what if I told you that this ordinary-looking coin could be worth not just hundreds, not just thousands, but potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars, or even more? Sounds impossible, right? Yet, that's exactly the story of the 1986 P Mint Mark Washington quarter, a coin that has quietly mesmerized collectors and treasure hunters alike. Today, we dive deep into the hidden secrets of this seemingly ordinary quarter, exploring the errors that make it priceless, the shocking values it has commanded, and the mysterious tales of fortune that have made ordinary Americans millionaires overnight. It all starts with the mint mark. The letter P, stamped on a coin's face, indicates it was minted in Philadelphia. For decades, collectors overlooked Philadelphia quarters, assuming they were the standard, the ordinary. But in 1986, something extraordinary happened. A subtle flaw, nearly invisible to the untrained eye, created a ripple across the coin collecting world. A minting error that would catapult a humble quarter into a realm most people thought impossible. What makes this coin so extraordinary isn't just a scratch or a misprint. It's the errors hidden in plain sight: double dies, misplaced mint marks, and the elusive, repunched mint mark. To the casual observer, a 1986 P Washington quarter might seem like nothing more than a coin you might use to buy a soda. But to the discerning collector, these errors are gold, literal, financial, historical gold. And here's the kicker: only a few of these rare errors exist. They are scattered like buried treasure, tucked away in rolls of coins that someone, somewhere, might casually spend at the checkout counter tomorrow. Consider this: a coin that could fit in your palm has reportedly sold for as much as $679,000 in top condition. Let that sink in. Nearly $700,000 for a coin most Americans would call loose change. But what drives such astronomical values? The answer lies in scarcity, condition, and the story behind the coin. Collectors crave the rare, the unusual, the story-laden. And the 1986 P Mint Mark quarter has all of these elements in abundance. Now, picture yourself at home, sorting through your old coin jars. You stumble upon a Washington quarter from 1986. Your heart skips a beat. Could it be one of the rare P Mint Mark errors that have shocked the numismatic world? Could this humble coin in your hand be your ticket to a fortune that most people only dream about? Every line, every detail on the coin matters: the placement of the mint mark, the depth of the strike, the slightest doubling of the letters. These are the signs that separate a common quarter from one that could sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars. And yet, even seasoned collectors will tell you, this coin is treacherous. For every true error, there are dozens of lookalikes, imitations, or coins that nearly qualify but fall just short. The difference between a quarter worth 25 cents and one worth $500,000 can be invisible to the untrained eye. That's why this coin has created such a frenzy in the market. Imagine the excitement of a collector who spotted a double die, a repunched mint mark, or a misaligned strike in a bag of ordinary coins. The thrill, the disbelief, the heart-pounding moment when the value is confirmed by a professional grading service. This is the magic of rare coin hunting. And for the 1986 P Mint Mark Washington quarter, these magical moments are not rare, they are legendary. Stories abound of collectors who found these coins in change, in coin rolls bought at banks, even tucked inside dusty jars inherited from grandparents. Ordinary Americans stumbling into extraordinary wealth, all thanks to a single, tiny, round piece of metal. But why is this coin so coveted right now? The market for rare coins has exploded, driven by global collectors and investors who understand the value of scarcity. Coins that once seemed insignificant are now treasures, and the 1986 P Mint Mark quarter stands at the pinnacle. Reports of market sales reaching into six figures aren't just anomalies. They are proof of what happens when rarity, demand, and historical intrigue collide. Every auction, every private sale, every online listing adds to the legend, creating a sense of urgency. If you have one, or think you might, it could be worth more than you ever imagined. Now, let's talk about the psychological thrill. There's a unique exhilaration in holding something in your hand that others would pay fortunes to possess. It's not just about money, it's about being part of a story, part of a rare club of collectors who understand the secret codes stamped into metal decades ago. The errors on this coin, imperfections in the minting process, transform it from a utilitarian object into a symbol of luck, foresight, and opportunity. Could the next person to check their pocket change be the one to discover a coin worth more than their house? And the story gets even more compelling. Some of the highest grade 1986 P Mint Mark Washington quarters have been sold in online auctions and private sales, shattering expectations and shocking the numismatic community. Coins in pristine condition, with flawless details and the perfect mint mark, have reached prices that approach, and sometimes exceed, 7 figures. Every new sale rekindles hope and desire in collectors worldwide. Every coin unearthed feels like a hidden treasure revealed. So, what does this mean for you? It means that the ordinary coins you've been dismissing, quarters, dimes, nickels, could hide extraordinary value. It means that every coin jar, every forgotten drawer, and every inherited collection deserves a second look. The 1986 Mint Mark Washington quarter isn't just a coin, it's a reminder that fortune favors the observant, the patient, and the daring. Could the coin you have in your hand right now be the one that changes everything? There's only one way to find out. In the end, the story of the 1986 Mint Mark Washington quarter is more than just numismatics. It's about curiosity, discovery, and the tantalizing possibility that hidden in plain sight are treasures beyond imagination. It's about ordinary people, ordinary coins, and extraordinary outcomes. It's about the thrill of the hunt, the joy of discovery, and the enduring allure of wealth that arrives unexpectedly. So take a moment. Look at the coins in your pocket, in your drawers, in that jar you haven't opened in years. Examine them closely. You might just be holding the key to a fortune that has already made dreams come true for others, and could make yours a reality. The 1986 Mint Mark Washington quarter isn't just a coin, it's an invitation. An invitation to explore, to seek, to discover, and maybe, just maybe, to strike it rich in the most unexpected way imaginable. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that could change your life forever. A coin so rare, so mysterious, that collectors across the nation would pay hundreds of thousands, some even millions, to own it. And yet, this coin might be sitting quietly in a pocket, a drawer, or a dusty coin roll, completely overlooked. Today, we're diving into one of the most astonishing treasures in modern American coinage, the 2000 South Carolina quarter. But be warned, what you're about to learn could make you look at every coin you own with a brand new sense of urgency. At first glance, the 2000 South Carolina quarter looks ordinary. It bears the familiar profile of George Washington, the eagle, the year, the mint mark. But beneath this seemingly standard surface lies a hidden secret, a flaw so rare that it catapulted this coin into the stratosphere of numismatic legends. Collectors call it the 2000 error, and those who know its true story whisper about it in hushed tones at coin shows and online auctions. Because this coin isn't just valuable, it's almost mythical. The story begins at the U.S. Mint in Denver in the year 2000. Tens of millions of quarters were struck for circulation, each destined for pockets and cash registers across the country. But somewhere in the production line, a handful of coins emerged with an imperfection that turned them into instant legends. Some of these coins displayed doubled dies, others had misplaced mint marks, and a few showed an unusual layering of metal that should have been impossible under normal minting processes. These are the kinds of anomalies that make coin collectors' hearts race. And when you discover one of these rare errors in your change, your ordinary day can suddenly become extraordinary. So, what makes the 2000 South Carolina quarter so extraordinary? It's not just a minting mistake. It's the fact that these errors are incredibly scarce. Out of millions, only a few hundred, perhaps even fewer, are known to exist in top condition. And collectors are willing to pay astronomical prices for them. Imagine turning a quarter, a coin you might think of as mere pocket change, into a treasure worth tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or even more. Could a coin you overlooked while buying groceries be your ticket to unimaginable wealth? It's not a fantasy, it's exactly what happened for some lucky collectors. Consider this: recent market sales have shattered expectations. Some 2000 South Carolina quarters, preserved in pristine condition, have sold for jaw-dropping sums. The highest recorded sales? A staggering $839,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, over $800,000 for a single quarter. For a coin smaller than your thumb. The thought alone sends chills down the spine of anyone who loves the thrill of discovery. And yet, even as we speak, countless others sit unnoticed in rolls of coins, piggy banks, or dusty drawers, waiting for someone to realize their true worth. Now, here's where the story twists. You might be thinking, sure, $839,000 is impressive, but how do I know if my quarter is one of these rare errors? That's where the detective work begins. Collectors examine these coins with magnifying glasses and microscopes, searching for subtle irregularities, a faint doubling of the lettering, a misaligned mint mark, a slight bulge or indentation that defies normal production. It's painstaking work, but for those who persist, the rewards can be life-altering. And remember, you don't need to be a professional to start this journey. You only need curiosity, a keen eye, and a willingness to believe that a simple coin could hide a fortune. But the suspense doesn't end there. Experts warn that even among these rare finds, the value depends heavily on condition. A coin that is scratched, worn, or circulated might only fetch a few $1,000s, while one in flawless, uncirculated condition could reach astronomical sums. It's a delicate balance, a tightrope walk between the ordinary and the extraordinary. And every step along the way builds anticipation, because the difference between a nice coin and a legendary coin can be almost imperceptible. One glance at a slightly misaligned mint mark, one tiny doubling on the letters, and you could be holding history in your hands. Imagine the thrill of realizing that a coin you casually picked up at the bank could be worth more than a luxury car, a house, or even your annual income. Picture the exhilaration of seeing that online auction skyrocket into the hundreds of thousands, all because you recognized the hidden value before anyone else. It's not just about money, it's about discovery, intuition, and timing. Every collector dreams of that moment. The heartbeat quickens, the mind races, and suddenly, an ordinary coin becomes extraordinary. That's the allure of the 2000 South Carolina quarter. Opportunities like this don't wait. Coins are constantly bought and sold, moved from pocket to pocket, from collection to collection. The longer they remain hidden, the more likely they are to slip into obscurity, or even into the hands of someone who knows their true worth. This is a rare chance, a fleeting window, and it demands action. It's a reminder that fortune favors the bold, the observant, and the curious. Could your next glance into a coin roll reveal a fortune? Could the change in your pocket be your hidden treasure? Only those who look will ever know. The 2000 South Carolina quarter isn't just a coin, it's a symbol of possibility. It embodies the thrill of discovery, the allure of hidden wealth, and the excitement of the unknown. For collectors and dreamers alike, it represents hope, the tantalizing idea that ordinary objects can hold extraordinary secrets, waiting to transform lives in a single moment. So, the next time you empty your wallet, sift through a coin jar, or peek into a change roll, remember this story. Remember the 2000 South Carolina quarter. Think about the countless quarters quietly waiting to be recognized, waiting for someone like you to uncover their secret. That small, silver circle could be the key to unimaginable fortune. All it takes is a sharp eye, a bit of patience, and the courage to believe that the next coin you hold could be the one that changes everything. Imagine holding a coin in your hand, a coin that looks ordinary, like the ones jingling in your pocket every day. A coin you've seen 1,000 times, yet could secretly be worth more than your car, more than your savings, even more than you dared to dream. What if I told you that among the countless quarters minted in the United States, there exists a 1981 Washington quarter that has stunned collectors, investors, and everyday Americans alike, so rare, so coveted, that some examples have sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars, even pushing toward the elusive $1 million mark? Yes, you heard that right. A single quarter, minted over 4 decades ago, quietly resting in someone's drawer, with the power to change lives overnight. And it all comes down to one thing, a tiny, almost invisible error that has transformed this ordinary coin into a treasure of staggering value. The 1981 Washington quarter might seem unremarkable at first glance. It's silver-clad, standard issue, struck in Philadelphia, and like every other quarter in circulation, it bears the familiar profile of George Washington. But here's where it gets fascinating. Some of these quarters weren't struck perfectly. Some carry hidden anomalies that only the most eagle-eyed collectors or informed investors can spot. And it's these anomalies, these small yet profound mistakes, that create the astonishing rarity that has the numismatic world buzzing. Take a moment to consider this. In a nation of over 300 million people, with quarters used every day for groceries, parking meters, and vending machines, only a tiny fraction of these coins carry this hidden distinction. And yet, when one is discovered in pristine, top-tier condition, the reaction is explosive. Imagine discovering that a coin you thought was worthless could fetch $50,000, $100,000, or even $655,000 on the open market. Some reports even whisper of coins approaching the $1 million threshold. Can you feel the thrill? That heart-pounding realization that fortune could be hiding in plain sight. But what makes the 1981 P quarter so special? The answer lies in its errors. These aren't scratches or ordinary imperfections. These are minting anomalies that occur when the coin is struck in a way that deviates from the standard, intentional design. Some coins exhibit double dies, where the letters or numbers seem to echo, ghost-like, beside themselves. Others show off-center strikes, die cracks, or mysterious die clashes that create patterns almost alien in their symmetry. These errors transform a simple quarter into a collector's obsession, a coin that suddenly carries historical, aesthetic, and financial significance beyond imagination. Now, let's talk about the market. Because rarity alone doesn't dictate value, demand does. And the demand for these coins is fierce. In recent years, documented sales of pristine 1981 P Washington quarters with these rare errors have shocked even seasoned collectors. One coin, graded at the absolute pinnacle of perfection, reportedly sold for a staggering $655,000. Yes, more than $500,000 for a single quarter. And industry insiders whisper that the right specimen, sold under the right circumstances, could surpass even that figure. Can you imagine holding a coin that could, in one moment, turn your life upside down in the most exhilarating way? It's a story of suspense, fortune, and discovery. Consider this: countless people have unknowingly passed these coins by, treating them like pocket change, while others have stumbled upon them and suddenly stepped into a world of unimaginable wealth. And the odds are tantalizingly real. In your own pocket, in a jar of coins on your counter, or in a dusty box from your childhood, the next legendary 1981 P quarter could be hiding, just waiting for discovery. Here's a twist that might make your pulse quicken: not every coin is worth hundreds of thousands. Condition is everything. Those jaw-dropping sales only happen when a coin is in top condition, untouched, flawless, and graded by the most stringent collector's standards. And therein lies the secret thrill. Any ordinary quarter could secretly be extraordinary. The thrill is in the hunt, the possibility, the hope that one day, a coin you overlooked could become a goldmine. And while the errors are subtle, they're unmistakable once you know what to look for. A double die on the obverse, a faint misalignment of the mint mark, or an unusual die crack can send seasoned collectors into a frenzy. Every detail counts, and the tiniest anomaly can mean the difference between a coin worth 25 cents and one worth $500,000. That's the beauty and danger of collecting rare coins. The stakes are high, the thrill is real, and the payoff is life-changing. Imagine yourself examining your change, perhaps while waiting in line at a grocery store or sifting through a jar of old coins in your attic. Could the next coin you touch be a 1981 P Washington quarter with the perfect error that sends shockwaves through the numismatic world? Could it be the coin that makes headlines, the one that transforms a simple collector into a millionaire? It sounds almost unbelievable, but then again, truth is often stranger than fiction. And this is exactly why collectors and investors alike are scouring change, auctions, and estate sales with feverish determination, chasing the dream that one coin could redefine their destiny. You don't have to be a professional collector or a coin dealer to get lucky. You just need curiosity, patience, and the willingness to look closer than most. A careful eye, a magnifying glass, and a little knowledge could reveal a treasure that has eluded the masses. And when that coin is found, the possibilities are limitless. One day it could be tucked in a desk drawer, and the next, it could command six figures at auction. The 1981 P Washington quarter isn't just a coin, it's a key, a ticket, a hidden fortune waiting for discovery. The question isn't just whether you might find one, it's whether you're ready to recognize it when it appears. Are you ready to hold history in your hand? To grasp the thrill of the hunt and the promise of unimaginable reward? The 1981 P Washington quarter reminds us that wealth and opportunity often hide in plain sight, disguised as the ordinary, waiting for the bold, the observant, and the persistent. Its errors are subtle, its value is extraordinary, and its story is far from over. Today, you could be holding a coin that changes your life forever, or passing it by like it's just another piece of metal. The choice, and the discovery, is yours. So, next time you reach for a quarter, look closely. Examine the details. Question what seems ordinary. Because sometimes, the most incredible treasures aren't buried, they're in your pocket, waiting to be recognized. And if you find one of these 1981 Washington quarters in top condition, you won't just have a coin. You'll have a legacy, a fortune, and a story that people will talk about for decades.